He is not just an action star. He is a real martial artist with a legitimate competition background who used his authentic skills to revolutionize how karate and kickboxing were portrayed in Hollywood cinema. To understand Jean-Claude Van Damme, one must look past the movie star lights and return to the dojo floor in 1970s Belgium. Before he was a global icon known as the Muscles from Brussels, he was simply Jean-Claude Van Varenberg, a skinny, bespectacled boy who lacked confidence. His journey from a shy child to the world's most famous karateka is a testament to the transformative power of traditional martial arts.
Ex-champion du monde des poids welter en karaté et champion d'Europe, c'est bien ça? C'est ça. En vérité, il y a deux sortes de karaté. Il y a le karaté traditionnel et le full contact. C'est deux sortes différentes de karaté.
Jean-Claude's martial arts education began at the age of 10 when his father, concerned about his son's physical frailty, enrolled him in a Shotokan Karate school. This was not merely a hobby, it became an obsession. Under the strict tutelage of Claude Goetz, a pioneer of vigorous physical conditioning, young Jean-Claude learned the harsh realities of old-school karate. This was an era of training where deep stances, repetitive drilling, and physical hardening were non-negotiable. It was within the structure of Shotokan that Van Damme developed the clean, linear power that would later define his on-screen aesthetic. He mastered the fundamental mechanics of the reverse punch and the snap of the front kick. Unlike the flowing styles of Chinese martial arts that audiences had seen with Bruce Lee, Van Damme's movement was distinctly Japanese in origin, sharp, focused, and explosive. He learned the concept of kime, or focus, teaching his body to lock out at the moment of impact to transfer maximum energy. This ability to snap his techniques is why his movements on film always appeared so crisp and devastating compared to other actors of the era. While Shotokan provided the steel in his technique, Jean-Claude made a decision that would separate him from every other fighter of his generation. He began studying classical ballet. For 5 years, he trained in an art form that demanded as much discipline as karate, but focused on extension, grace, and extreme flexibility. This combination was revolutionary. The karate gave him the explosive power to knock an opponent down, while the ballet gave him the dexterity to perform kicks at angles that seemed physically impossible. It was this synthesis that allowed him to develop his signature jumping, spinning hook kick and the ability to perform the splits, a feat that became his trademark. To round out his physique, he incorporated bodybuilding, eventually winning the Mr. Belgium title. He built a body that looked like a Greek statue, but moved with the speed of a lightweight fighter. Contrary to the belief of some critics, Van Damme was not just a performer, he was a fighter. As a teenager, he competed on the Belgian Karate Team. He fought in both semi-contact point tournaments and full-contact kickboxing matches. His record speaks to a young man who was testing his skills in the ring long before he was performing them for a camera. A crucial part of his development came from training with European karate and kickboxing legend Dominique Valera. From Valera, Van Damme learned how to adapt traditional karate techniques for full-contact fighting. He learned how to close the distance, how to take a hit, and how to mix boxing punches with karate kicks. By the time he retired from competition at the age of 20, he had compiled an impressive record, largely dominated by knockout victories. He had proven his skills in the ring, but his ambitions lay far beyond the borders of Belgium. In his later years, Van Damme transitioned from being purely an action star to being a teacher and an ambassador for the martial arts. Through seminars held around the world, he has peeled back the curtain on his technique, revealing a deep understanding of biomechanics that often surprises people. In these teaching sessions, Van Damme does not simply teach people how to kick high, he teaches them how to generate force from the floor. He emphasizes the importance of hip alignment and the chambering of the knee, classic Shotokan principles. He often speaks about the elasticity of the body, instructing students to stay relaxed until the very millisecond of impact. He corrects students on the minutiae of foot positioning, explaining that a difference of 1 inch can determine whether a kick has power or leaves you off balance. He also teaches the mental aspect of the arts. Drawing from his own tumultuous life experiences, he speaks to students about the concept of mushin, no mind, and the importance of breath control. He advocates for consistency over intensity, telling students that stretching for 20 minutes every day is superior to stretching for 2 hours once a week. His seminars reveal a man who is still a student of the game, constantly refining his own movement, even into his 60s. The legacy of Jean-Claude Van Damme is monumental. He effectively globalized the sport of kickboxing and revitalized interest in traditional karate during the late 80s and 90s. There is an entire generation of current UFC champions, K1 fighters, and karate masters who explicitly cite Van Damme as the reason they walked into a gym for the first time. He proved that a martial artist could be an artist in the truest sense, sculpting their body, refining their movement, and expressing themselves through combat. While he will always be remembered for the splits in the movies, his true legacy is that of a dedicated martial artist who took the discipline of the Shotokan dojo and used it to conquer the world. He showed that with enough flexibility, focus, and fighting spirit, a skinny kid from Brussels could become a legend.